seconds. Then what else for? He takes a fancy for punishing me. Why should he punish me? He said, the punishment is not for the crime you committed, but the basic triguna samskara which you have in your soul, which induces you to commit sins. By punishments, a soul gets purified. That triguna dosha is reduced gradually. When birth after birth he is punished like that, at one stage, all the dirt is washed off, he becomes a clean soul. So to punish a man, God need not tell him what for he is being punished. It is not at all necessary. I said, I understand 50% of this. The remaining 50% is still a suspense. Then he said, you are moving with young men and old men. What is the difference you find between a young man and an old man? I said, a young man is active, very jubilant, very anxious in pouring out words. But an old man is always very patient. He acts very patiently. He doesn't lose temper easily. He is more civilized. How did that civilization come to him? Because of the experiences he underwent in life. When he was a young man of 20, he was also jubilant, he was also out for doing crimes. But life has taught him several lessons. When he becomes a man of 70 or 80, he becomes mature. His mind gets mellow. He gives up several things and becomes a man who deserves some respect. The same way, when the soul goes through this karmic cycle, because of the punishments and because of the cleansing experiences he is given during his experience of life, his soul gets mellow. Two people go along a path which is not very much lighted. There is darkness still. One man feels tempted to take the money purse of the man who is going in front. The other man does not think about it. But the police is not there. Why is it so? A man who gets criminal urge is not yet seasoned. The man who hesitates to do crimes even in solitude where there is no law, he is mature because of previous experiences. So a man of 20 and his friend who is a man of 25, they might be similar in age, but in maturity of soul they will differ. It is due to this experience of the past karma. I would say that the most intelligent punisher is God, not a policeman. Then I came home, I thought about it again and again. Then I found that there is some sense in it, some reason in it. I gradually felt drawn towards this rebirth theory. The next day I approached him, I asked him, you please give me some more points which would strengthen my faith in karma theory. Then he came out. You compare your own friends. One boy is intelligent, one boy is dull-headed, one boy is rich, one boy is poor, one man is handsome, one man is not. Why this much of difference you find in creation? If the Creator is a kind father, if he is a parent of neutrality, he should not allow this much of disparity in the created beings. Now, what does your religion say regarding this? He asked me back, what does your religion say regarding this? I said, my religion does not say anything about it. If I go to question my preacher, why is this disparity of creation? They say, shut up your mouth, keep quiet, believe, just believe, that's all. Yours is not a question. You must believe blindly. That is how I have been taught. Then my Tamil master said, well, Hinduism has a rational explanation for everything. Every social setup is justifiable from the Hindu point of view. Nobody can blame God for any of his difficulty. If he reads the Shastras thoroughly, he will find every act is just. That way, he entered into my heart and brain by his rational approach to practical life. Then I started getting interested in Vaishnavism. Then I asked him another question. You see, your Narayana is lying down on a snake. My question is, the very basic concept to say that God is taking rest is silly. God must not take rest. He must be brisk. Why should he be always lying down on a snake? If at all you are going to justify that, my next question is, does not God have a good bed like Dunlopillow or some civilized thing? Why should you lie on a snake like this? So it's all ridiculous. Then he came out with an answer. In other religions, they say God is very brisk, busy. And they go to the extent of saying that God needs rest once in a week. They say Sunday is the resting day. They say their God was very working hard for 6 days. On the 7th day, he needs rest. Whereas in Hinduism, we say that God does not need rest. He does everything with no difficulty. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, look at my Vishwarupa. All this effulgence I hold with just one finger. There is so much of unused energy in me. It's all lying lazy. Because God need not exert any effort to do anything, to create or to maintain or to destroy. All those things he can do with just a thinking of a second. He can do it. Sankalpa matra, a mere mental intention to create or to destroy is enough for him. So to show that God is above hard work and tiresomeness, he is portrayed as taking rest. Not only that, you can see him almost sleeping. Half his eyes are closed. That shows he does everything almost in a retiring mode. He needs no energy. Then this snake, you would have read in Yoga Shastra, every man's spiritual energy is stored as Kundalini in the 33rd bone of his backbone. And every soul's Kundalini power is in the control of the Lord. To show that, God rests on a 1,000-headed serpent. The serpent power of every human being is in his control. And that shows that. Then I asked him, how about the chakra in his hand, that conch in this hand, and those servants in paradise, Sri Vaikunta? Now, this concept is not very convincing. God is acting like a boss, paying boss, employer. These people working for him. What is the difference between a government servant and the servant in Vaikunta? Does he need that service? And in films I see Goddess Lakshmi pressing his feet. What does that show? Does he have a pain in his feet? Does he need a woman to do this service? What is your explanation for that? Then he said, it's true that people say God has no form. He is formless. He is above forms. Now, even soul is formless. The released soul is formless. God is also formless. But when they want to offer some service to him, in what way will they be able to do it? Don't you feel that they need a body to do that? If God has no body at all, and if they don't have any body at all, how will these devotees show their gratitude and service? The only possibility is they must imbibe a body. God must have a body. So, as a token of their respect and gratitude, they are doing it. Not that God is feeling a pain in the feet, that Goddess Lakshmi is pressing his feet. It is not that way. The Kainkariya is done out of Kritanyata, gratitude. Thus, he gradually drew my attention to Vaishnavism, and I started reading